Hello, everybody. It is Mike Young with A Plant-Based Diet, and we are back for another exciting and informative talk with Dr. Nick, who is, of course, our Director of Lifestyle Medicine. Welcome, Dr. Nick.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
All right. Well, it's great to have you back here after
Yep.
we're recording this just after the Labor Day holiday 2020. And I know you want to talk about food cravings, which I think, whether we like to admit it or not, it really affects everybody, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what can you tell us? I mean, are food cravings good? Do we need to learn to manage these cravings? I know my cravings will tend to lead me in the wrong direction most of the time. So what can you tell us?
No, it's a great question, and it's one that has gained quite a bit of importance in the literature around obesity. And so we actually have a new study that just came out. And what they did is they looked at food cravings across multiple different dimensions, because, of course, there's a lot of different ways of thinking about what food cravings are, from the emotional triggers, guilt, binging. There's many different ways to classify them. So in this study, which came out of Tufts University, what they did is they classified food cravings, and then they looked for associations between food cravings and health. More specifically, what they did is they associated food cravings with how frequently people eat, how long throughout the day individuals eat, as well as other markers of health like BMI and waist circumference and other metabolic markers.
Okay. So what's the takeaway that you got from that study anyway?
Yeah. So the big takeaway from this study was the researchers found that there's a strong association between having the presence of food cravings, having food cravings, and eating more frequently, having a lower diet quality, and eating longer throughout the day. So this is science proving what we already intuitively know. But when you have this kind of strong association that shows that food cravings are directly associated with having a larger waist circumference and BMI, we know that thereby food cravings might be a really important way of addressing obesity and overweight. Again, this is an intuitive finding, but it's one that is essentially a proof of principle that by managing food cravings, we may actually be able to address some of the other challenges associated with weight gain and obesity.
Okay, well, I also find that these cravings are a huge challenge. I mean, like you said, this new study is not shining some new concept onto us. We already kind of knew it, but at least it's reinforcing that this is an issue that everybody has to deal with. And I find that it's really a psychological issue. You can't just sometimes shut these things off. You've got to learn to deal with this, like the mental battle that goes on. And I think the more we know about this, that for sure these cravings are typically going to cause problems for you, the more you realize it's a mental battle and one we have to win or set ourselves up to win somehow.
Absolutely. And that actually, you summed it up perfectly. This really shows that food cravings, the presence of cravings, isn't something we can just kind of accept or ignore as just being what it is. It's actually something that we need to intervene upon. And, remember, this is an associational study. It's not a randomized controlled trial. So we can't say that food cravings cause obesity or cause an elevated BMI, but it stands to reason on the basis of what we already know about appetite and its regulation and the relationship that has with gaining weight and obesity, that this is probably, a cycle where food cravings impact weight gain, and then gaining weight may, and creating those habits around unhealthy eating then impact food cravings. So really, how do we intervene upon the cycle? It's not just a matter of saying, eat better, exercise more, but it can be impactful to go upstream potentially and attack the cravings directly.
Yeah, and even if you know all of this, like you said, maybe some people knew all this already. Well, it also, I think a study like this is important, and you discussing the study is important, because there are some people out there I know that feel like, well, I have these cravings because that's me. That's who I am. That's what my body wants. But I think that like many things, it's a balance concept, or just a health concept, to where you're not going too far to one extreme. And I think giving into all your cravings is definitely going to the extreme. It's having, like, no self-control. But in the food world, I think you can show, right, by having no self-control, by giving into all the cravings, that your health is going to be impacted in a negative way. So if you want to have the best health, you've got to learn how to manage your own thoughts, I guess, and your actions and your cravings and all that. And it's difficult.
Yeah, and couldn't have been better said myself. And the tie in there is that, and the authors mention this, in the last 5 years or so, some really interesting randomized control trials have been done, looking at whether we can directly influence an individual's craving through different techniques. And what one study from 2016 showed, that was a very nicely done study, there were hundreds of people involved, is that interventions that take either a dietary approach or an exercise approach to weight loss, when they add in some mindfulness, which is a topic that we frequently revisit, but when they add in a mindfulness technique whose aim is to directly impact, to decrease cravings, they actually saw a much greater benefit in the weight loss, whether it was diet or exercise, the weight loss program. And so, I mean, that's just echoing what you're alluding to already, which is that there are things we can do through mindfulness. Another recent study from 2018 shows that sleep is another really powerful modality. Getting enough sleep will impact the amount of food cravings you have the following day. And so sleep may be another thing, especially food cravings is your challenge, to try to blunt the severity of those cravings, and if you're already making effort to get control of them, use mindfulness, use sleep, and try to make sure that you're not just thinking about the weight, but you're thinking about what's causing the weight, what's causing the challenge, as far as how you're eating and what your lifestyle is like.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that science has gotten to the point now where we can almost make an open and shut case about why we need to do these things for lifestyle. And also, of course, that someone like yourself is available, because I want to make sure people know that you are available online, and connect with you. You can be their doctor, right? I mean, you're a lifestyle medicine physician. So these are things that are not easy concepts for anyone, including myself, to grasp. And really, the fact that there are professionals such as yourself that are willing to help people is we're living in a great time. And please let people know also how to get in touch with you.
Oh, great. Yeah, my website, nickborjamd.com, makes it really easy to set up a free initial consultation where you can just chat with me. We can talk about whatever health challenges you have. And what you said is exactly right. All of the lifestyle changes that we want to make, there are headwinds that make it challenging. And so we really need to think, I think we all have the same goals. Where we can learn from one another is the strategies. How do you do it efficiently? How do you do it easily so that you can also have plenty of time to take care of your kids, keep your busy job, do all the other things that you're passionate about and love, but just with more health, with more energy, with more vitality. So that's really, I think, that the mission of this movement, and something that I'm really trying to provide individuals who are interested. So.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there are folks more and more every day that are interested in what you have to offer. So that is great. And also, just like you mentioned there, being happy and healthy, just having fun, enjoying life. And I think not being weighed down by all the negative side effects, whether it's increased doctor's appointments, pharmaceutical side effects, et cetera, due to what you can instruct people in ways to avoid those, hopefully. And that's the great news, I think, that we're hearing here today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks so much, and I look forward to watching and participating in our next video together. Another exciting topic, I'm sure. So thank you so much, Dr. Nick.
No problem. Great talking with you, Mike.
Same here.